Hello students, I welcome you all to Wiley India. Today we are going to discuss this year's Prelims question paper. The point of discussion is that we should be able to identify the correct sources, the standard sources for the preparation of this examination, and how Wiley India is helping you to crack these examinations. So let us begin. I am taking the set A paper as a reference. You can tally it as per the question paper. So let us begin. I'll be taking few of the questions, not all the questions we'll be discussing, few of the questions that would help you to gauge what are the standard text and what are the books that you should refer, right? And how we are going to solve this question paper based on that. So like this is the first question. It says that consider the following statements. Statement number 1, the atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than by terrestrial radiation. And statement number 2 says carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good absorbers of long wave radiation. Now see, this is an question based on heat budget, and it was easy if you are thorough with the standard text like NCERTs. And this, see, revision is something which is very important in this exam process, right? So if you are going to study any subject, revision is the key, right? So see the first statement, the atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than by terrestrial radiation. Terrestrial radiation is the outgoing radiation. So if I have to solve this question, you can see you will be able to find this exact question in the Wiley India book, right? I'll just show you. So see, this is the heat budget. Like I said, the question is related to heat budget, and we are talking about incoming solar radiation and the outgoing terrestrial radiation. So what is happening? We see that the around the total incoming solar radiation received, the incoming radiation is 100 units of energy, out of which we have to see how much of is absorbed by the atmosphere in the incoming and the terrestrial radiation, right? So you see that 14 units are directly absorbed by the atmosphere of the incoming radiation, whereas 48 units are received by the atmosphere, which is in the form of terrestrial radiation, right? Terrestrial radiation, that is terrestrial radiation in the form of long waves of energy that are emitted by the heat Earth's surface. So clearly the incoming radiation is just 14 units absorbed by the atmosphere, and the outgoing or terrestrial radiation 48 units are absorbed by the atmosphere, which means what? The first statement is wrong. Atmosphere is heated more by the terrestrial radiation than by incoming solar radiation. So statement 1 is incorrect, right? So we can easily arrive at the answer option, that is D, right? The second statement we need not even read it, but it's a very fairly simple statement. It says carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good absorbers of long wave radiation. That is also there. See, carbon dioxide and water vapor, these are absorbed by the atmosphere because these are good absorbers. So these are in fact the greenhouse gases, right? So fairly easy question. Standard sources, NCERT textbook as well as the book by Wiley India, Lakshya, can be referred. Okay, let's move to the second question. Second question is again related to geography. It says that the thickness of the troposphere at the equator is much greater as compared to the poles. Okay, fine. Second statement says at the equator, heat is transported to great heights by strong convectional currents. See, this is again related to the heating of the atmosphere as well as the layers of the atmosphere. Okay, so we'll also consider this. So if I have to find this, again this was from the NCERTs, and you will not miss this in the book also. So see here, I'm reading about the layers of atmosphere in the book. It says the atmosphere and its layer, troposphere, it varies in thickness. That is, the troposphere varies in thickness from 8 km at the poles to 16 km at the equator, which means troposphere is more in height in near the equator than as compared to the poles. So the first statement is true. Thickness of troposphere at the equator is much greater as compared to poles. So statement 1 is correct. We have to check whether statement 2 is correct or not, and whether it explains it. So at the equator, heat is transported to great heights by strong convectional currents. Strong convectional currents means mode of heating. We already know that out of the three modes of heating, it is the convection that is heating the atmosphere, right? So it is the what is the out of the various modes of heating, if you see conduction, convection and radiation, it is convection. Convection is the movement of matter or substance from one location to another that results in transfer of heat energy. Heat transfer occurs in atmosphere and oceans due to prevalence of convectional cycles or convectional currents in this environment. So statement 2 is also true. Why is the equator getting the height of troposphere is more in the equator? Because of transport of heat to greater height by strong convectional currents. So both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 explains the statement 1. Again, standard sources, NCERT and this Lakshya book. So let's move further and let's see what are the other questions. See the question number 3. It says, consider the following: pyroclastic debris, ash and dust, nitrogen compounds, sulfur compounds. Okay, nitrogen compounds and sulfur compounds. We have nitrogen compounds, sulfur. How many of the above are products of volcanic eruption? Right, volcanic eruptions. Okay. So see, volcanic eruptions. Again, it's a very easy question. Those who have read, if you have read about volcano, you can easily find it. See, landforms. In landforms, you are going to see volcanoes. Okay. So, see, volcano, pyroclast. What is it? Pyroclast. See. So pyroclast, it was there in the option. Pyroclastic debris or pyroclast. Ash and dust, yes. In here you will see what all is being released. See, gases, ash, steam, molten rocks, that is dust, ash and dust, nitrogen compound and sulfur compound, basically gases such as sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen chloride and CO2, etc. and etc. All forms of gases can be released. So all these four are the products of volcanic eruption. So answer it pretty straightforward, all four, right? Okay, let's come to the fourth question. It says, which of the following is our correct inferences from isothermal maps in the month of January? Okay, it is talking about isothermal maps, and especially in the month of January, that is in the winter months, right? So the first statement says the isotherms deviate to the north over the ocean and to the south over the continent in the month of January. And the second statement says presence of cold ocean currents like Gulf Stream and North Atlantic Drift make the North Atlantic Ocean colder and the isotherm bends toward the north. See, if you read it very closely, the second statement says presence of cold ocean currents, Gulf Stream and North Atlantic Drift make the North Atlantic Ocean colder. Gulf Stream and North Atlantic Drift are warm ocean currents. So statement 2 is wrong, right? These are warm ocean, so that is wrong. So let's check it. So let's first check it. So see, isotherms and land contrast. Clearly you can see that isotherms, the northern hemisphere with a predominance of land over water tends to be warmer, right? The reason for that is that because northern hemisphere has more land mass, and it is the property of water to get heated more slowly and get cooled down more slowly, or the land gets heated more faster as compared to water. So obviously the isotherms would deviate to the north over the ocean, right, and to the south over the continent. So statement 1 is correct, but statement 2, as you saw, that Gulf Stream and North Atlantic Drift, see here, influence of warm ocean currents. When passing through areas with warm ocean currents, isotherms shift poleward. Okay, the statement itself is wrong. It said bends towards the north, but these are not cold ocean currents, these are warm ocean currents. right? So what is the example here? Exactly these two examples: the North Atlantic Drift and the Gulf Stream interact with the Northern Atlantic, right? But it's written here presence of cold ocean current. So statement 2 is wrong. Statement 1 is true, right? Okay, fine. So again, it was from the standard sources, like NCERT standard sources, as well as the book. Okay, so the book is a very good reference, and the book is for those and for all people who are uh, who want to revise the subject in a simple and straightforward, in a less timely time environment, right? So do not have the time to reread those NCERTs again and again. You can go through the book very easily. In 100 pages on odd, you will be able to cover the entire geography, so other subjects too. Okay, so let's see. So question number 4 is over. Let's see some other questions. See, consider this. Question number 7. Consider the following statements. Rainfall is one of the reasons for weathering of rocks. Statement 1. Statement 2 says rainwater contains carbon dioxide in solution. Okay. Statement 3 says rainwater contains atmospheric oxygen. Now see, this is a new type of question that UPSC has introduced this year. 3 statements. Okay, so there are surprises in the paper. You'll also see other surprises. I'm going to tell you what are those. But still, if you're thorough with your subject, you will be able to deal it in a very easy manner. Rainfall is one of the reasons for weathering of rocks. We know that. Agents of erosion, rainwater is one of them. Rainwater contains carbon dioxide in solution. True. Carbonation. Rainwater contains atmospheric oxygen. Yes. Right. Oxidation. Right. So this also we will be able to find. Right. So let's check it, whether this is true or not. See, weathering and erosion. Okay, weathering and erosion. So that is, yeah, what are the agents? Mechanical or physical weathering, right? Okay, then we have chemical weathering, like because the presence of the water, this type of weathering is more effective in areas with hot, humid climate. Basically talking about rainfall only, right? Okay, see what happens. Oxidation occurs when dissolved oxygen in water, that is rainwater, comes into contact with the surface of minerals, particularly iron content. So oxygen, the statement 3, rainwater contains atmospheric oxygen. True. Oxidation, because rainwater contains oxygen, it leads to oxidation and hence weathering. Statement 2, rainwater contains carbon dioxide in solution. So see, carbonation. Carbonic acid is created when water and carbon dioxide mix, again the same thing, and it is leading to the erosion or weakening of the rock. So both statement 2 and 3 are correct, and rainfall is one of the reasons for weathering of rocks. So very straightforward questions, very straightforward options, and very straightforward questions. You will be getting it right. So both statement 2 and statement 3 are correct, but only one of them explains statement 1. Yeah, that's for true. Rainfall is one of the reasons for weathering of rocks, right? Okay, so we need to correct that. Correct option for this is in fact A. Both statement 2 and statement 3 are correct, and both of them explain statement 1, like we saw here. Hydration, oxidation and carbonation. Oxidation and carbonation both are responsible for weathering of rocks, right? So oxidation and carbonation. So you can correct it. That option A is correct, not B. Okay. So let's move further. See, this was another, I was saying about the surprises that UPSC has introduced this. Not exactly surprises, but it requires you to be thorough with the subject. Okay, so see, they have given 3 columns. Up till now we have seen matching with 2 columns. Okay, so you just have to check about 2 whether they are matching or not. But here you are able to see 3 columns. You have to match waterfall with the region in which that waterfall is present and along with the river. Okay, so it says Dhuandhar waterfall is in Malwa region over Narmada. Okay, fine. Hundru, Chota Nagpur region over Suvarnrekha. Okay, fine. And then finally Garsopa, the most popular fall in Western Ghats in Netravati. So you have to first check about whether river is true or not, or any of them. If you find it wrong, you'll be able to pick it out. For example, Jog fall or Garsopa fall is not over Netravati river, it is over Sharavati river. So that is ruled out. Okay. Hundru fall, it's a less popular fall but true. So it's over the Suvarnrekha river in Chota Nagpur region of Jharkhand. And then finally Dhuandhar fall, it is over Narmada river but it's not in the Malwa region. It is near Jabalpur, and Jabalpur does not fall in the Malwa region, right? It's south of Malwa region, in fact. So only one of them is true. That is Hundru, Chota Nagpur, and Suvarnaka. Again, only one option is true. You can correct it to A. Only one. Okay. So see, 3. You have to be thorough, and this also you will be able to find in the book. I'll just show you. So see, the list of waterfalls we have given in the book. So see, Dhuandhar, it's in MP, true. Okay. Then we have the Jog or Garsappa Falls. It's in Karnataka, Western Ghats. See. Okay. Then Hundru, it's in Jharkhand or Chota Nagpur region. See over the river, Sharavati, Jog Falls. Right. So here in the option it says Garsappa or Jog Fall is in Netravati. So that's ruled out. True. It's given. Then we have the see which river? Suvarnrekha, right? This here. Suvarnrekha. See, Hundru Falls. Right, Hundru Falls. So it is true. This one is true. Then we have to find Dhuandhar Falls. That is over Narmada. This is your Dhuandhar Fall. That is Madhya Pradesh. That is over Narmada. Okay. See here. Here it is Narmada, Amarkantak Plateau, right? The region or the source, Amarkantak Plateau. And Dhuandhar Fall is over Narmada. Okay. So that's why only one of them is correct. Only one of them is correct. Dhuandhar is not in the Malwa region. It is near the Jabalpur or the south of Malwa, close to Jabalpur. The river is true. So you have to be a bit of cautious to attempt such questions. Okay. But if you're thorough, you will be able to deal with it. So see another question. Question number 10. Question number 10 says you have to match the region again, the name of the mountain range and the type of mountains. It's also checking your physical geography as well as the mapping part. So here you see the Vosges, the Alps, the Appalachians and the Andes and the type of mountain. For example, they have given this Vosges. This is a fold mountain. So that we have to check. Is it a fold mountain or not? So again, we are going to check it. So see, classification of fold mountains, right? So in the example, like what are the example given under the fold mountains in the form of new fold mountains or young fold mountains are Alps, Andes, Rockies and Himalayas, right? So Vosges is not a fold mountain. In fact, if you see in block mountains, you will find that Vosges is a part of block mountain, right? So here Vosges is not a fold mountain, so it's wrong. Alps, just now we checked that Alps is an example of young or new fold mountains, but Alps has been given as block mountain. Again, this becomes wrong. See Appalachians. So see whether we are going to find Appalachians or not. See. Okay, Appalachians. Here you are going to see Appalachians. Example of old fold mountains are Appalachians or the Aravallis in India. See. Appalachians. Yeah, Appalachians. Okay, so again Appalachians has been given as fold mountain. So this is true and it is in North America, right? Appalachians in the USA, that is North America. So that is true. One pair has been matched. Andes. Did we see Andes here? See, Andes. It's an example of fold mountain. Fold mountain, true. And is it in South America? Yes. See, Andes is in South America. Andes, location South America. Right? So pretty easy. Two pairs are correctly matched. Appalachians and Andes, right? So this type of question was introduced this year and you can expect more of them in the coming years. Okay, it was there in the book. Standard sources also in NCERT you will find it, but you have to correlate of what all you have studied, the types of mountain and the examples for that, right? So let's move further. Okay, see. Now let us take this question, that is with reference to Coriolis force, which of the following statement is correct? It increases with increase in wind velocity. It is maximum at the poles and is absent at the equator. Select the correct answer codes. Okay, so 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, either 1 and 2. So Coriolis force, okay, again this is a very straightforward question from the concepts itself. So if you are going to, let's check it whether it's there or not. In the NCERTs, you'll easily find it. See, Coriolis effect. Okay, so Coriolis force. It is true that the Coriolis force is missing at the equator and becomes stronger towards the pole. Exactly, it has been written. Second statement, it is missing at the poles and is absent at the equator. Sorry, it is maximum at the poles and is absent at the equator. Exactly, it has been written. The Coriolis force is missing at the equator, that is absent at the equator, and it becomes stronger towards the poles. Maximum at the poles. So statement 2 is correct. We just have to check whether statement 1 is correct or not. It increases with increase in wind velocity. Again, it is true. It affects the wind's direction or wind's velocity. Winds are deflected. Higher the Coriolis force or higher the wind's velocity, higher is the Coriolis force. Vice versa. Right? Vice versa. Okay, so you see that because of this, winds that would move perpendicular to the lines of equal pressure under the pressure are deflected obliquely to them because of Coriolis force and vice versa. Right? Okay. So that was again a straightforward question from the standard textbook, NCERTs as well as Lakshya book. Let's move to the next question. It says, on June 21 every year, which of the following latitude or latitudes experiences sunlight of more than 12 hours? The June 21 is the your summer solstice, right? June 20, that is longest day of the year because the sun is directly overhead at the Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere, right? So Tropic of Cancer would definitely be there in the answer option. Tropic of Cancer would definitely be there, and it is experiencing sunlight of more than 12 hours. It's the longest day or shortest night in the northern hemisphere on June 21st. And out of what? Tropic of Cancer and what? So 2 is there, either 2 only or 2 and 4. These two options are correct. So let's check Arctic Circle. So we know that there is a phenomenon of what we call midnight sun, right? Midnight sun. So let's what it is associated with. It is in fact associated with this same thing, that why this phenomenon of midnight sun happens. See, latitude and this phenomenon of midnight sun happens. Okay, so because when the sun is directly overhead at the equator at the Tropic of Cancer on June 21, it is providing continuous daylight to the Arctic Circle or beyond that. This is what midnight sun is known as, the phenomenon of midnight sun. That is in the direction of poles where it can be seen for up to 6 months. The sun can be seen for up to 6 months of the year. The midnight sun phenomenon lasts longer. The poles go through roughly 6 months of continuous daylight. That is more than 12 hours of daylight, even 6 months of continuous daylight because of the angle of the Earth's inclination on its axis. So these Arctic Circle and the Tropic of Cancer will experience a sunlight of more than 12 hours on June 21. Right? So option 2 and 4 are correct, or option D is correct answer. Again, this was there in the book and you have to infer it. If you're reading NCERT, you have to infer it, right? Okay. So it's a very smart question that has been framed, right? Now let's move further. Let's take some other questions. So see this question, okay? So see, like, environment is a very important section, and you have lots of current affairs in environment, okay? Lots of them. But if you see, such type of questions will also be there where if your understanding of the basics is clear, you will be able to attempt it. See how. Consider the following statements. Statement 1, the Indian flying fox is placed under the vermin category in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Fine. Statement 2, the Indian flying fox feeds on the blood of other animals. Okay. Which one of the following is correct in respect of the above statement? That is, both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 explains the statement 1. Statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, but does not explain. 1 is correct, 2 is wrong, 1 is incorrect, 2 is correct. So you just have to be sure whether both are correct or not, right? First. So Indian flying fox is placed under the vermin category in the Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, Wildlife Protection Act. So we know that there is a category in Wildlife Protection Act. Even in the basics, the very basics you are going to study, you will be able to see the Wildlife Protection Act. See, Wildlife Protection Act in a very brief manner, I have summarized it in the table. Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Schedule 5. There are certain schedules in this act. Schedule 5 deals with vermins. And what are these? Vermins are wild animals which are harmful to crops. It can be birds also, which are harmful to crops or farm animals, or which can carry disease. When we declare some of them as vermin, or we put them in the vermin or schedule 5 category, then this can be killed. These animals or birds can be killed with the permission from chief wildlife warden, right? So see, if you know what is a vermin, so this is true. Indian flying fox is nothing, basically it's a fruit bat. So it is causing damage to the fruit, which is a crop. See, we can declare vermin if it is harmful to what? Crops or farm animals, or if it is carrying any disease. So it is true. There is a very high possibility that this is true. Indian flying fox is placed under the vermin category. True. We have to keep it in, so that in the future, if there is a loss to the fruit crops, we can kill it. We can kill the Indian flying fox. Okay. Or the fruit bat. Statement 2 says Indian flying fox feeds on the blood of other animals. Now this is not true, because it is the very essential criteria is it should be harmful to the crops, or it should be carrying any disease, or it should be carrying any farm animals. Just because it is feeding on the blood of other animal, it cannot be killed, or it cannot be put under the vermin category, right? So that's why statement 2 is not correct, but statement 1 is correct. I hope I am clear here, right? So only one of them is correct. So statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Okay. So let's move further. So let's move further and let's take a question. There were a lot of questions which were very easy to deduce once you have read the subject in a holistic manner. Okay, should not be a simple straightforward questions, right? So everything boils down to your comprehensive preparations. Okay, everything. So see, one or two questions that I found. See example, for example, question number 37. Which one of the following is the exhaust pipe emission from fuel cell electric vehicles powered by hydrogen? So this was always in news. We are already running a green hydrogen mission. The purpose behind that is that we have to promote a hydrogen economy, right? So fuel cell electric vehicles, they rely on using hydrogen and use oxygen to produce electricity that is in a fuel cell. So see, when hydrogen and oxygen combine, that is what is happening in a fuel cell. Hydrogen and oxygen combine. So hydrogen and oxygen combine, they produce what? Water vapor. That is the only exhaust that is coming from a fuel cell electric vehicle. So that is what is being asked. What are the exhaust pipes se kya nikalta? What is the which one of the following is the exhaust pipe emission? So clearly it is water vapor, H2 plus half O2 H2O, and energy is being released, right? So very simple, straightforward question, right? See, another question that we are going to take is, see, one of the few of the questions where, for example, I think that should be the last question that we will be taking. It was a question related to the defense ranks. Okay, so defense rank, if let's come. See, this is again a very the longest border between any two countries in the world is between Canada and US. It's a very easy question, but you will not find it even in very many standard sources. Okay, many standard sources, you will not be able to find it. And this was a very straightforward question. Straightforward in the sense, if you have read just even once, you would be able to remember it. See how. Okay, it's not this. This is with respect to the rank. See, the country with the longest border, Canada. It has says the longest border, exact same. It doesn't say the country with the longest, what do you call, boundary. It says the country with the longest border. The longest border between any two countries in the world is between, just in only one option you will find Canada. So here we have written Canada. So Canada only shares its border with USA. Okay, so it goes without saying that Canada and US, the country longest border between any two countries in the world is Canada and US. Okay, so that is that was again a straightforward question. Yeah, okay, and that was there in the book, right? So one more question that I was speaking of was with respect to the military ranks. It was a tough question, but given that some of them can be asked, okay, so you should be prepared for it. Even if you have gone through one or two times through the table, you have been able to answer this question. You would have been able to answer it. Question number 69 says, which of the following is are correctly matched in terms of equivalent rank in the three services of Indian Defense Forces? So ranks of Army, Air Force and Navy have been given. Which of them is correctly matched? It's a tough question, no doubt about that. Even those who have served might find it very difficult. Okay, but it's a straightforward question. Picked up from the book, I think. So I'll just show you. See, rank officers of all Indian Armed Forces. So you see this column. Major in Indian Army is equivalent to squadron leader in Indian Air Force and Indian Navy Lieutenant Commander. So see, major, squadron leader, Lieutenant Commander. Exact in that order. In that order, you'll find it. Lieutenant Commander. So 3 only. It's a tough question. I give it to you. I give it to the students. But it was there in the book. So even if you have gone through this table once or twice, you might have been able to answer it, right? Okay. So overall, my assessment is that the paper was relatively easier compared to the previous years. I'll not say it was easier overall, but it was easier compared to the previous years. There were some direct questions, as we have seen, from the standard texts like NCERTs. You cannot leave the standard texts. You have to go through them. But for revision, you rely on books like Lakshya, right? You cannot always open the standard text again and again, right? You have to rely. You have to use something that provides you a concrete, what do you call, the crux of the matter that you will find in this book, Lakshya, right? And straightforward, such kind of information cannot rely always on the internet. You have to find it, keep it at one place. So this can be very helpful, right? Like the Canada border question, this rank officers question, right? Or the equatorial, the June 21st question. Okay, so so for the preparation for the coming years also, so should be that always go through the PYQs, previous year's question papers, make use of the standard reference books and revise again and again from a comprehensive gist like Lakshya. Okay, that will build you more and more confident as the exam approaches, right? So I hope you have found this session useful, and all the best. Thank you.